Hello everyone, my name is Zach. I am the Traveling Man, and Happy New Year to you all. I'm so excited today because today really kicks off the year 2022 for my channel, and we have a lot of adventures to go on this year. Starting today, right here on board Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas. We're about to embark this afternoon or later on this evening. We're going to be taking a short little 3-day getaway over to CocoCay. Perfect day at CocoCay and then a day in Nassau. Ever since I went on Royal Caribbean's Adventure of the Seas, actually the third royal ship to start back into service back in the summer of 2021, I was like, I have to come back, and this is my opportunity. I booked this cruise right after I got off of that one. So really excited to try my third Royal Caribbean cruise and get to go back to Perfect Day. And I'm excited to bring you along with me. So if you're ready, let's get this Royal Caribbean Freedom of the Seas adventure started. So the time is currently 1:45 in the afternoon. It's a beautiful mid-January day here in beautiful Miami, Florida. Here looking out, you can see the end of the, I guess, the port down there where we'll be sailing. We're actually faced that way, the ship. I'm here on the back of the ship, and behind us, we'll go up top of the deck and look, but we have a few friends behind us, other cruise ships from other cruise lines. We'll look at those, but just look how stunning it is today. So I've actually been on board now for a little over a couple of hours, but I just got to my room about 5 minutes ago. It's 1:45. They did have the doors closed into all of the rooms, access into all the hallways, and they said it would be 2 o'clock before the rooms were ready, but they were ready just a few minutes before 2 o'clock, and I know there were a lot of folks like myself that have been on here for a while, tired of carrying around our bags. We were glad to come to the rooms and get settled in, and that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you the room in just a minute, and I'm gonna give you some of my first thoughts on the room, and we'll talk a little bit about the room situation in there, and also how I got an upgrade. I went to guest services. You know that thing I've always heard people say on the first day of the cruise, can you go to guest services and get an upgrade? And I did, and I'll tell you how that worked out for me in just a minute. I want to talk about the check-in process first. The embarkation process, we'll start there and get that out of the way. I was only able to get a 12:30 p.m. check-in time, and I had such an early flight, I actually ended up getting to the port at 10:15 this morning. However, the doors were open. No one even asked me about my time. No one looked at my time. They just checked me right on in for the cruise. They took me upstairs into the seating area, and I sat there for about 45 minutes. And boarding actually started just after 11 o'clock. So not a very long process at all. It's very quick. So got on board the ship, got some lunch, and now came up to the room and just gonna get settled in here. So let's take a look at the room, and then I actually want to take you all out and look at this ship, because this is a beautiful ship. This is a very fun looking ship. This one is very bright and colorful. I know it was recently amplified. Amplified is what Royal calls it when they refurbish their ships and do these multi-million-dollar upgrades to them. This ship was amplified, I think, within the past year or two, and I think since the shutdown. So there's a lot of new looks and things around the ship, and I will show you those. All right, so just inside the door here, this is actually when you come in the room, and my first initial thought was, whoa, the decor in here is kind of dated. I wasn't expecting this. I thought that when they amplified the ships, Royal Caribbean, I thought that they updated the carpet. I thought they updated, you know, the seating area and the curtains and things like that, but this room looks very dated, and that's fine. The room is still great. I'm not complaining or anything. It's just my first thought. So let's go right in here to the bathroom. That light's a little long to cut on there. You've got some tile here. Here's the shower. So standard shower here. You got your hair and body wash. So this is a 2-in-1 combo. A lot of times they'll have both body wash and shampoo available, but this one is a combo. And then just your standard, you know, towels that you expect to have. And there's the sink and some water glasses. But you can see the bathroom too has a little bit of an older decor to it. And here's the air conditioning here. And of course, if you've watched my videos, you know we keep it turned all the way to cool. We keep it cool on my channel. This door is having some issues closing. See, that doesn't want to close all the way, but again, nothing major. There's a sofa in here. This is a pretty big stateroom. It's very wide, and I like that. So we'll look back toward the door. You can see how big the room is. Here on the counter, I did want to show you, they do provide a couple of masks for you. These are just the disposable mask. I brought my own, and I brought quite a few N95s. They also provide hand sanitizer for you and encourage that you use that throughout the course of the cruise. So it's just a standard Royal Caribbean. The curtains do look to be in good shape though. And I only mention that, I'm not trying to be very nuanced about the room, but A lot of times you'll see when you get on a cruise ship, a lot of times these will be torn at the top, they'll be missing a ring or something, and this will be half hanging, but these look to be in good shape, despite looking like they're from the early 2000s. So let's take a look now at the balcony, because this, in my opinion, this is a fairly spacious balcony. See how much room we have when we get out here. Of course, a table and 2 chairs, but let me stand all the way in the corner over here and show you how much room we have back here. Look at all the room for this balcony. This is nice. I like this. And of course, you know, it doesn't always matter how the room looks. I'm just content having this view right here and being able to sit out and look at the ocean as we sail. All right, so that's a little bit of the room. Now, what I was going to tell you, I did go to guest services probably within the first 30-45 minutes. I did the Royal up. I was supposed to be in an interior, got moved to a balcony room. They assigned me just some standard balcony. So today when I got on, I was like, I know, I have an idea. I hear a lot of folks, you know, on the cruise forums, a lot of folks on social media, they talk about going to guest services and what are your chances of getting an upgrade if you do that on boarding day. So I thought, why not? So I did. I stood in line. There were a few people there. Funny that just about everyone in that line had the same question as I did. Everyone was trying to upgrade. The first thing that the guest service representative told me was there are no more suites. There are no suites. All the suites are gone. And you're already in a balcony, so there's not really much we can do. I said, well, I'm on the 6th floor. Is there a way I can get to a higher floor? And they got me this room. I'm actually on the 9th floor, or deck 9. This almost feels like a stateroom with an extended balcony, so maybe a higher category, higher price stateroom that they put me in of no charge. So I guess our answer here and what we've learned today in our lesson in cruising is might as well stop by guest services if you feel so inclined and see if they have some opportunity for you to move up, either, you know, move up a class, you know, like from a balcony to a suite, or from an interior to a balcony, or maybe move your category up, change your category of your stateroom, so maybe you get a bigger balcony like this, or bigger stateroom or something like that. All right, so a little bit about protocols, because I did promise that I would tell you about that. You do have to be vaccinated if you are over, I think, 12. And please don't hold me like, take my word as gospel. Please go research this yourself. I'm just trying to give you an overview. They do want passengers to be vaccinated. You do have to show proof of vaccine, so make sure you do bring your original proof of vaccination when you come to the port. They do want to see that. Of course, you always have to have a passport or birth certificate or some sort of documentation like that. Did have to be tested within 2 days of embarkation day, so I actually got tested yesterday evening. You can do an antigen test or PCR test. Of course, remember, PCR tests take longer. So if you're going to do a PCR test, make sure you do that, you know, right on that first day that you can get tested, because it does take longer to get those results back. Got my results back yesterday evening, printed that out. They wanted to see the printed copy of my test results and my vaccination card before I could even enter the building, before I could even come in Royal's Port building and get checked in for the cruise. So you're going to need that. While you're on board, anytime you are inside, you're going to want to wear a mask. I brought some N95 masks. I've actually been double masks so far today. I've had 2 masks on, and actually the crew on board now are wearing 2 masks. Everywhere you go and see crew all around the ship, everyone is wearing 2 masks. So everyone is keeping safe as they can here on board, making this a safe bubble environment so everyone can cruise and sail as safely as possible. They're encouraging you to wash your hands. I did walk in the Windjammer earlier and noticed that they had someone there monitoring, making sure everyone was washing their hands as they came in the Windjammer. They were also keeping track of how many people were in the Windjammer at any given time. So that's just a quick overview of some of the protocols. Oh, one more thing. When they saw my vaccination card and that I've been fully vaccinated, they did give me a bracelet, and they said, please wear this throughout the cruise at all times, anytime you're in a public space. This just helps us identify quickly those guests that have been vaccinated. So you get a cool little bracelet for free if you've been vaccinated. So enough of the protocols and the room and all the logistics and everything, y'all. Let's go have some fun. Let's go check out the Freedom of the Seas and get this cruise started. Actually, just kidding. I have one more thing to show you. This is Royal Caribbean's app. Of course, within this, you can do anything while you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise, dining, entertainment, things like that. But this is also how you're going to do muster right now. So we'll click the safety button here, and you can see safety information. It tells me I'm all done because I've completed all the steps. Of course, when I open this, it shows my muster station is D30. But there are 3 steps in here. You first have to watch this life jacket instruction video. It's just a short, I think it's under a minute. Shows you how to don your life jacket. They also show you what the ship's horn sounds like. And I don't have my volume turned up here. Oh, actually I do. It's just not working. Well, anyway, you can listen to the emergency horn and see what that sounds like. And then they tell you where the medical facility is and tell you, you know, if you have any symptoms, if you need to see the doctor, to please go to the medical facility. And then finally, the third step, which isn't on here anymore because I've already done it, is to actually physically go to your muster station. And you can actually click the map here and it'll show you where that's at on board. And once you've done that, folks, you're ready to sail. You've completed muster. There's no more formal gathering muster drill anymore. You sort of just do it at your own pace on embarkation day, and we're all done, and we've had that taken care of. So now we can go have some fun. One other thing to note, they left this on my bed. Pull towels to go. So, you know, normally they have pull towels left in your stateroom, and you can use those towels throughout the course of your cruise. You just have to make sure you leave them in your room when you leave, or else they'll charge you. Now it looks like they're not actually leaving them in your room. It says instead to go to this QR code, and they'll bring you how many ever towels that you say you like. And you need to submit this by 6 p.m. and they'll deliver them right to your stateroom. It's like I said, on deck 9. So this is just what the hallway looks like on Freedom of the Seas, I assume, across the entire ship. But you can see the doors here. They're kind of this pink color. I'm not the biggest fan of this interior style. It sort of looks more like a hotel maybe than what you would see on some other ships that have more of a tropical vibe in the hallways. But yeah, this is what the hallway looks like. Just thought I would show that. So some things have been amplified on this ship, but clearly not everything. Down here you can see the Royal Promenade down there on deck 5. And this is just open to all the decks, all the way down to deck 3, I believe. So we'll go check some of this out. So here on deck 5 is guest services, and this is just off the elevator bank, right before you get into the Royal Promenade, which is where we're headed now. They now have a sign on the elevator saying 5 people at a time or your group only, please. But this 5 looks like it's been added recently. You can see it's been like glued on, cut out from something else. So I'm sort of curious on what the number was before it was the current. So you start to see as we walk around here, one of the things I really appreciate about this ship so far is all the colors. I think that was an addition of the amplified process that this ship underwent. They added a lot of colors, a lot of seating areas and play areas and things like that that are just very vibrant and colorful. It just really brings out a fun, you know, Caribbean vibe to the ship, and I think that's really cool, especially on a ship like this that sails primarily 3- and 4-day voyages. Now coming around the aft of the ship, the very back here on deck 12. Of course, here you go up a deck. I guess that's deck 14. You have the flow rider. So if you're into that, that's where you can do that. But here off the back, arguably one of the best views on the entire cruise ship, on any cruise ship. But a beautiful day here in the port of Miami. You can see the city of Miami back there. And then here on Cruise Ship Row, we are the last ship, so we are the closest currently to the ocean. But you can see down there a couple Carnival ships. We'll zoom in a little bit. All the way down there at the very, very end, the small ship, that's the Carnival Ecstasy. And I don't think the Ecstasy's back in service yet. I could be wrong, but I think it's just probably here trading off supplies and crew and things like that in port today. Then second there, that second Carnival ship is the Carnival Conquest, and the Carnival Conquest is in service, and it sells 3- and 4-day cruises from Miami. It's sort of Carnival's version of the Freedom of the Seas. They're sailing just short cruises to the Bahamas. And then next in line here, these two are in timeout. The Norwegian Pearl, which is the smaller ship there, and then the Norwegian Getaway directly here in front of us. These ships are 2 of the ships in the Norwegian fleet which are currently sort of sidelined right now. We hope to see these cruises and these ships and their crews back up and back out on the ocean very soon. But A pretty busy day, I guess. That makes 5 cruise ships total here in the Port of Miami today. And it is a gorgeous day, as I've mentioned. Currently the temperature is 70 degrees. There's a pretty substantial breeze blowing, making it feel just amazing outside. And also here on the back of the ship is the perfect storm. These are the set of water slides that are back here. It's also cool embarking here in Miami for Royal Caribbean. I've never embarked on a Royal ship here in Miami. They have a really nice terminal. It's beautiful. It's a newer terminal. I think they built this for some of their Oasis class ships. And of course, this is where Symphony, when it's here in port, it's located here at docks here, but it's a beautiful building, beautiful terminal. So if you've never embarked on a cruise from Miami, never been to this beautiful building, I highly recommend you do it. Looks like Carnival Conquest will be the first to leave today. Carnival Conquest, like I mentioned earlier, also on a 3-day voyage. However, just one port call. Tomorrow I think they have a day at sea, and then we will meet up with the Conquest and see her. She'll be docked alongside us in Nassau on Sunday. I'll take this opportunity with the Carnival ship behind me to do a little bit of self-promotion and say that the last time I was in Miami was actually boarding the Carnival Sensation, my first time ever on a Carnival Fantasy class ship. I boarded that ship on February 29th of 2020. That's right, leap day of 2020. And that ship, that sailing was, I think, a 5-day cruise. So I got off of it on March the 4th of 2020. This was just the week before cruising shut down as the pandemic began ramping up across the United States and all parts of the world. So I was on one of the last sailings, and I actually have a cruise vlog series on that, the Carnival Sensation. It was my first cruise vlog series that I ever did here on my channel, Zach the Traveling Man. So make sure you go back and check that out, and I'll put a little info link here where you can just click on that and easily go into that playlist. But a lot of good history with Carnival Cruise Line here in the Port of Miami. Picking up speed now as they get near the end of cruise ship row. Got quite a few passengers on there. Like I said, headed out for a 3-day voyage to the Bahamas, out to Nassau, after a day at sea tomorrow. You can hear their sail-away party. Of course, Carnival are notorious for bringing the fun, and they always kick off that fun with the sail-away party, and you can hear it going strong there on the Lido deck. Still a great ship, though. I mean, to be almost 20 years old, the Conquest. Still looks great. And of course, notice she doesn't have the new livery that a lot of the Carnival ships have. They now have the blue to match the new Mardi Gras, but Conquest hasn't been in dry dock yet to receive that, so she's still sporting the legacy white all across the bow of her ship.
That's right, we're saying goodbye to Miami and hella to France. See you later. Hey, let's go.
And with the Conquest still in view, I guess it's time to do just a little bit more self-promotion to let you know that in February I'm actually going to be back on Carnival Cruise Line on board the Carnival Sunshine. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss all the Carnival content. So it is about 5:45 now, and we're still in port. Haven't left yet, but you can see it's starting to get pretty dusky out. The sun's starting to go down. But it's a beautiful evening in Miami. I'm not seeing any more ships go by since we saw the Conquest leave earlier. So it looks like we're the next ones out, and I think we'll be going pretty soon. You can see one of the pilot boats, or at least one of the police boats. He's got his lights on down there. I think he might be standing by to get us out of here pretty soon. But of course we don't have far to go tonight. We're only going over to CocoCay, so it's only 125 miles or so, so not too much distance to make up tonight, but hopefully we'll be setting sail pretty soon. So we were sailing now, but I just had to show you how beautiful this looks. Looking back behind us, you can see the city of Miami back there. We're sort of headed off to the northeast, so we're also sailing along off the coast of Fort Lauderdale as well. But very, very beautiful. Skyline of Miami, South Florida, as we sail off into the Bahamas. Good evening. It's now our first evening of the cruise, and what a great day it's been. Of course, always good. Embarkation day, there's such an excitement. Always fantastic to be back on a cruise ship. Also love first night in the dining room. It's always just a highlight of the cruise for me for some reason. It's like returning back to the dining room, getting to have a good meal, have someone wait on you. You don't have to cook. I'm about to head down to dinner now, and I'll take some pictures and some video and show you what I had for dinner. Let you know later what I thought about that. Y'all, just back from dinner and actually stopped or went outside first before I came back to my room just to walk off a little bit of that dinner. That dinner was amazing. But you see in some of the footage that I just inserted, it's a pretty rocky night out there. We're moving around quite a bit. I don't think I've ever moved around so much just off the coast of Florida like this. It's a lot of waves out there tonight. Not even that windy. It's just, I guess, the waves. But you could see the pool being disrupted a little bit by that. It was very hard to walk up on the deck, but did walk a little bit. That's why my face is red. It's a little chilly out there too. But dinner was amazing. It's really good to be back on Royal Caribbean, as I learned on my last cruise with them on the Adventure of the Seas. They have really good food in the main dining room. They have really good food across the ship, but particularly in the main dining room. I was impressed on my last cruise with the food that I had, and I was impressed tonight. So for my appetizer, I had the chicken salad, and it was chicken salad with some apples and some grapes, and it was really good. It was a really refreshing, more of a lighter appetizer, and I enjoyed that. Then for my entree, of course, I had to go with that prime rib. That was really what I was looking forward to the most today, I think, was getting into the dining room tonight and getting that prime rib. It didn't disappoint, but I did learn something. Last time I said, when I was on Adventure of the Seas, that this was the best cut of meat I've ever had in the main dining room. It was still good, but it wasn't as thick. I mean, last time they gave me a thick piece, and I think I can attribute that to the wonderful wait staff that I had on Adventure of the Seas. Not that I didn't have exceptional service tonight, but the wait staff that I had on Adventure of the Seas were always going above and beyond for me. They did the entire cruise. They just made sure I was well taken care of, so I think maybe they got me a really thick piece of prime rib. But the prime rib was good. No complaints about my main entree. And then for dessert, I had the no sugar added cobbler. This was some blueberry and apple cobbler with some light ice cream on the side. That was incredible as well. So no complaints from me about any of the food tonight. Again, it's just great to be back on Royal Caribbean and in their main dining room. 2 more nights of main dining room experience. I think the only specialty dining that I might do is, while we're in port one day, I might go to Izumi, because they have some really good, like, fried chicken that I got last time when I was on Adventure of the Seas, so I kind of want to get some of that. So keep watching, and I'll show you that. And we have a lot more adventures to come. I'm going to wrap this video up and wrap the night up. The only thing I'm going to do for the rest of the evening, it's currently 8:30. Comedy's at 9:30 and 11:30 tonight. I think it's a PG-13 and an adult, respectively. So I think I'm going to try to make at least one of those, and then I'm going to go to bed, because I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. It's been a long travel day to get here on Freedom of the Seas. So excited tomorrow. Perfect day at CocoCay. Are you subscribed yet? Because in the next video, we're going to be there, and I'm going to show you why it really is the perfect day. We'll wander around the island a bit. We'll just see where the day takes us. We're going to be in port with one of Royal's mega ships, so I'll get to see one in person and up close for the first time ever. So that'll be fun, for me at least. Thank you all so much for watching this first video, and I'll see you tomorrow from Perfect Day at CocoCay. Good night, everybody.